Alrighty guys, welcome back to the channel. I'm just about to start editing this video, and as you can tell, we shot ourselves a nice big buck for the Wisconsin gun opener 2025 season. Super thankful. We got her done right away in the morning, literally minutes after legal shooting time. We were in there after this specific buck. He was in there a couple of times during the week. So I had a kind of a feeling that my chances were somewhat decent to get my eyes on him at least. I did not think it would happen right away in the morning like that at 18 yards. We're just in this pinch point creek bottom and in the same exact blind where we shot our bull buck. So super thankful. Just a really fun morning. Had my cousins with me at the end and everything. It's just a super fun day. One more thing I forgot to mention, which makes this kind of even crazier, the whole 24-hour period, is Friday night, the eve before the opener. I made an hour-and-a-half drive up north as my dad shot a big buck with the bow. We recovered that deer, stayed up there, celebrated for a little bit, and then I made an hour-and-a-half drive back home just to hunt around here. So just a super fun 24 hours with two big bucks hitting the ground for our family. And it was perfect. The reason I'm doing this intro and not jumping right into the hunt, I really don't have any footage beforehand of me getting out there or anything. The first video I filmed that day was literally a 37-second video of me killing this buck. So basically, quick rundown of how it happened. I got in the stand about 5:45, was in there for 45 minutes, and I start hearing something in the blind, and I can tell it's a deer walking and getting closer, and I'm in this blind and it's hard to tell which side they're coming from, and this blind only has one window, so it's still really dark in the blind. Only a couple minutes after legal shooting light, and next thing you know, I see the deer, the big buck right in front of me at 18 yards, just staring at me. And I'm like, oh crap! I thought he was just looking at me, and I thought he was gonna turn away and leave. And next thing you know, he puts his head forward and takes a couple other steps. So that's when I hit record. At this point, I do have my gun in my hand. I have my phone on my tripod, but I do not have my gun out the window yet. So he takes those steps. He looks forward a little bit. I quick get my gun up after I hit record. And he hears and sees me kind of get my gun out the window, and luckily, I think what saved this hunt was that it was still really dark in that blind. So I think that was key. And then I had to scope on a zoom of 6 or something, so his whole shoulder just filled my whole scope. Usually I was expecting these deer to kind of run this back edge of the woods along the creek, but he was right at 18 yards, and I put the crosshairs right behind the shoulder and pulled the trigger, and he took off. So we'll get into the video. All right, guys, I am shook up. Didn't even do my intro yet. Didn't set up any of my GoPros or anything. I had one camera running, and literally within 2 minutes after legal shooting time opened up, I could hear something coming in, and I'm just looking around. I kind of got my gun ready and everything, got my camera on my tripod, and I didn't see anything. I could hear it, and I'm in that blind down there where I shot my bull buck, and it's hard to hear, and so I don't know which way this deer's coming in. I knew it was a deer, and next thing you know, huge 10-pointer right at 20 yards, and I think I hit him good. I put it right on his shoulder. I mean, 20 yards, his whole front shoulder took up that scope. I just can't believe that. Literally, I've been sitting for 45 minutes, and within 2 minutes after the season opens, that comes in.
just crazy, insane. Just a huge deer. That's the deer I was in here after. We've had him on camera quite a bit this summer, a little bit in the fall, and this past week he was down here twice. Once at 6:18 a.m. on Monday morning this past week, and then on Thursday night, I believe it was, he was in here at 4:30 p.m. So I knew he was around, and there was a couple other 8-pointers I was willing to shoot as well. So that's why I came back down here instead of going up north. But my cousin's actually hunting on the other property over, and he thought he heard him crash. I personally didn't hear him crash. I don't know, he kind of just bolts off after a shot. You know, he didn't do a mule kick. His tail wasn't up, so that makes me a little nervous, but I think I put a good shot on him. I don't know why. I mean, I should have. You know, I put it right on his shoulder, right at 20 yards. He was almost too close for a gun. But I'm pretty shook up right now. Gonna definitely wait a little bit. I don't know, could probably call my cousins because they're kind of hunting the same creek bottom. I just can't believe that happened the way it did, because we got a kind of a preserve where there's no hunting on one side of us, but then on the other side, within like a mile, there's probably at least 6+ hunters that are in here, I know. So I just hope I put a good shot on him. That's gonna be my biggest buck ever, if it is. So I just can't believe it. I fucking can't believe it. I am hyped. Holy crap. Probably gonna go talk to the landowner, let her know. Super grateful for this landowner just letting me hunt deer. I've been hunting here for almost a decade now, and you know, the first probably 5 years I hunted this property hard, but once November came around, I would always just go up north. And the past couple of years I've learned a lot over the past decade if you're just watching trail camera history, and I just know what these deer are going to do every year. They kind of do the same thing. Obviously in their route, they just love cruising this creek bottom, even though this year they really didn't cruise this creek bottom as hard as I thought they would. It was pretty slow the last week of October down here and the first week of November, but the past, you know, week and a half has been pretty good for buck activity and just deer activity in general. So I'm super excited, super thankful. I hope we can put our hands on this deer. Stay tuned. Alrighty guys, it is roughly 40 minutes after the shot, and I just looked at first impact and we got blood, which is a great sign. I think I looked back at the videos and I think I just smoked him right in the lungs. But instantly, blood. We got some hair here. Some hair. Got some blood here. Definitely think I made a great shot. More hair, more blood. We are just gonna walk up on this trail. See if we can see him. I didn't hear him crash, but I'm hoping he didn't go far. My cousin's hunting next property over. He thought he heard him crash possibly. We will see. Holy crap, he's right here, guys. He is right here. He didn't go freaking 30 yards. What a freaking tank. Oh my gosh. Oh, guys, literally I got one of my cameras right here. The blind's right up there. He didn't go. My bull buck died right in this creek right here. He didn't go hardly anywhere. Holy crap. Just an absolute perfect shot, guys. That is exit. I just freaking smoked his lungs. Just blew his lungs out. Look at that buck. 2025 Wisconsin gun buck. We are tagged out in a matter of minutes. Just a freaking stud 10-point. It's my biggest buck down here. Had this guy on camera for a while. Alrighty guys, well here he is. This is my first ever 10-pointer. And it's definitely up there with one of my biggest bucks. Definitely, might not be my biggest, but it's definitely my number 2. It's not my number 1. But just an unbelievable deer. This is the deer we were in here after for. This week he was in here twice. Once Monday morning at like 6:18 a.m. on this back trail, literally 10 yards behind us, running this creek bottom, and he was in here Thursday night at 4:30 in front of the blind. Just a great deer. He didn't go 40 yards. I didn't even hear him crash, which is surprising, but everything's all frosty and quiet. But you know, right away this morning I could hear a deer coming, and literally minutes after legal shooting light this happened. I could hear one coming, and I knew it was a deer, and so I got my gun in my hands and I'm just kind of looking around trying to figure out which side of me it is on, because I'm in that blind. It's hard to tell exactly which direction the deer are coming from, and next thing you know, he's literally at 18 yards right in front of me, and I still got the gun in my hands, but it's not out the window yet where I could shoot, and he's just looking right at me, and he looks ahead of him and just starts walking. So I get the gun up, and you know, he sees all that movement, and I just instantly put it right on his shoulder, actually right behind the shoulder. That's the exit, and I just freaking pulled the trigger. And you know, he didn't really do any sort of mule kick or anything. He just kind of tucked his tail and took off. So I was a little nervous about the shot, but then rewatching the shot, I could tell I saw the bullet go right where it was supposed to go. His whole front shoulder took up the whole sight. Literally 18-yard shot. And looking back at it, I'm definitely lucky it was within minutes after legal shooting light, because I do think if it was much lighter like it is now, that he definitely would have saw me way more. You know, it was still very dark in that blind. Even on the camera footage, you can tell it's literally minutes after legal shooting. So just unbelievable. I've never tagged out this fast. Really haven't had too much luck gun hunting, but the past 3 years we've got her done, and this is my biggest buck, one of my biggest bucks ever, my biggest gun buck. And to do it in the exact same spot, exact same blind where we got the bull buck and everything, and to do it with all these other hunters around, you know, it's crazy that these deer can make it. You know, like I said, my hunting land butts up right to this, my permission property butts right up to this no hunting property. So I mean, this deer literally had, you know, 30-40 more yards to walk and he would have been safe, but he didn't make it. So super thankful. My cousin, he was hunting on the other side of the creek here on a different property. He came over, and we talked and stuff, and we just celebrated, and that was super nice. Took a bunch of pictures, and now my cousin, he just left. He's gonna go get my other cousin, and we're all gonna come down here and look at him. But super thankful. We were all kind of hunting the same creek bottom after one of these bucks, and very thankful to be sitting behind him. Just an unbelievable season. This is my 5th deer this season, 3rd buck. We got our bull buck in Wisconsin. We got our 2 does in the UP and our bull buck in the UP, and now we got our gun buck in Wisconsin. So just unbelievable season. It was tough to wait to not hunt in Wisconsin for a buck, but it was worth it because we got her done. So it happened fast this morning. Not much footage. Literally, I think there's like 30 seconds, not even, of this deer and me shooting it. So pretty crazy. Hope you guys enjoyed, and we'll see you next time. All right, guys, so we're just about to gut him. That's why during the interview I have my jacket off and I'm just in this long sleeve and vest. But there he is one last time, and I'm not sure if I mentioned this, but the camera's right, he died right in front of one of my cameras. And we literally shot him right up there. I mean, he ran 40 yards at most. Can't believe I didn't hear him crash, but I am super pumped. Just unbelievable. Just a crazy year. Super thankful that I have permission to a property like this. Super grateful. Gave the landowner some venison already this year. Definitely going to be giving her some more venison. Not because I shot this deer, but I was going to do it anyways this week. But I'm just super thankful, and I love hunting whitetails. I love bull hunting whitetails especially, but just very thankful. So one more look at him. Just a big old body, big old freaking neck, just morphs into his head. Nice short face. He smells like rut. Just awesome. So hope you guys enjoyed. Thank you.